Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind of compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Celebrating Style, the Quartz Furniture event. Get up to 30% off on furniture, appliances, and accessories store-wide. Plus, if you pay with Quartz Ready Finance, you pay nothing down and there's no payment for 30 days. This offer is available in store and online at shopquartz.com. Conditions apply. Promotional period April 1st to 30th, 2023. Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind of compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has defended the labeling of crime as a public health issue. Speaking at the opening of the second day of the regional symposium, Violence as a Public Health Issue, the CARICOM Challenge, Prime Minister Gonsalves said other leaders made it clear that crime is a multifaceted matter, requiring a total society approach, but at this time, the public health dimension is being highlighted. We'll hear more from the Prime Minister.
So, to the extent that anyone conceives that there is any tension between a public health approach and the command and control approach, for instance, there is nothing wrong if there are tensions. The question is this: how does one resolve these tensions? In any given situation, there are inherent contradictions and tensions. They are not either or. Indeed, if anyone maturely approaches any question before our consideration in the area of public policy in either or terms, one misses the subtleties and the dialectical nature in the way in one analyzes and fashions solutions.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Prime Minister Gonsalves' comments came on the heels of criticisms from Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Trinidad and Tobago's opposition leader, of crime being labeled a public health matter. Persad-Bissessar told reporters at the opening of the conference that crime is not a public health issue, but she agrees that it causes public health issues. Over 30 lecturers at the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College, the SVGCC, are now better equipped in the delivery of online teaching, having participated in a training workshop hosted by the college, in collaboration with the Commonwealth of Learning, COL. The workshop, facilitated by COL consultant Dr. Chantal Moore, was the first phase of the training program. The sessions aim to enhance the pedagogical skills of lecturers in developing and delivering online and blended courses. During the 4-day workshop, participants focused on the practical and theoretical aspects of online and blended learning, including identifying strategies to successfully transition a face-to-face course to an online or blended one, identifying best practices related to course structure and navigation, developing a plan for designing and delivering online course content, and formulating strategies to explore and adopt new technologies to incorporate with the college's learning management system. Several lecturers were recognized during the workshop, including Dexter Small for Best Course Designed. Joseph Bob, LaFern Fraser, Delisa Marshall, Suzette Rogers, Breneva Oliver, and Simone Roberts Kent were also recognized for excellent course designs. The training program will continue online through the college's e-learning platform. Still on the local scene, work on the Marriott Hotel at Mount Wynne is expected to commence in June or July of 2023. This was disclosed by Minister of National Mobilization, Social Development, Family, Gender Affairs, Youth, Housing and Informal Human Settlement and Parliamentary Representative for Central Leeward, Dr. Orlando Brewster, on the Issue at Hand program on Sunday. We'll hear more from Minister Brewster.
The Mountain Marriott was supposed to start some preliminary work, I think, in July of this year, June, July of this year. We had to relook the plan for the hotel itself, and we are still in that stage because of the increasing cost in materials and so on. It has ballooned the figure so much that now we have to probably look at just a slight variation in some of the design so that we can have the Mountain Marriott completed in the very near future.
That was Minister of National Mobilization, Social Development, Family, Gender Affairs, Youth, Housing, and Informal Human Settlement, speaking on Dr. Aranda Brewster speaking on WEFM's Issue at Hand program. In September of 2019, the SVG government signed an agreement with Marriott International to manage the state-owned 250-room hotel to be constructed at Mount Wynne on the western coast of the island. On to news in the region. Prime Minister of Jamaica Andrew Holness is calling for reform of the justice system to fight crime. Speaking at the regional symposium, Violence as a Public Health Issue, the CARICOM Challenge, Holness said the Caribbean's laws and jurisprudence were not designed to treat criminal threats facing the region. We must reform our legislation to match the growing sophistication, scale, and nature of the threat. Our jurisprudence must incorporate measures which will support enhanced security operations, which will support the use of emergency powers, and which will support preventative action to disrupt and control the space in which criminals operate before they commit the act of violence, he said. Speaking about the illegal flow of guns into the region, Holness said in Jamaica they seized 8,036 illegal firearms over the last decade. He said criminal organizations and gangs have been able to acquire these illegal guns with ease even though they were not manufactured in the region. St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew on Tuesday said his government is continuing to monitor the situation in Haiti, where the island's honorary consul Harold Mazuka Jr. had been kidnapped over the last weekend. Drew, who was in Trinidad and Tobago attending a two-day regional symposium on violence as a public health issue, told the Caribbean Media Corporation that they are continuing to receive information regarding the abduction. Last Saturday, heavily armed people kidnapped Mazuka Jr., who is also a businessman in Haiti, where armed criminal gangs are engaged in kidnapping for ransom. We are still gathering information, and so far as we are concerned, there has been no loss of life, and we continue to work. But at this time, we are continuing to get information, the Prime Minister said. In an earlier statement, the government said it is outraged by the kidnapping of its honorary consul and his father that the consulate's official vehicle was also seized. On the international scene, India is set to overtake China to become the most populous country in the world by the middle of this year, data released by the United Nations shows. India's population is expected to reach 1.4286 billion, 2.9 million more than its neighbor on 1.4257 billion. The Asian nations have accounted for more than a third of the global population for over 70 years. China's birth rate has plunged recently, with its population shrinking last year for the first time since 1961. India's population forecast, provided in the United Nations Population Fund State of the World Population Report, is an estimate since there has been no census in the country since 2011. Also, the UN says their estimate does not include the population of China's two special administrative regions, Hong Kong and Macau, or the island of Taiwan, which Beijing sees as a breakaway province to be unified with the mainland one day. Taiwan sees itself as distinct from the Chinese mainland with its own constitution and democratically elected leaders. And finally, in sports, David Warner has been included in the Australia squad for the World Test Championship final against India and the first two Ashes tests with England. Warner, 36, has one century in his last 19 tests, but keeps his place after recovering from an elbow injury he suffered against India in February. Marcus Harris, Matt Renshaw, and Usman Khawaja are the other opening batters. Australia plays India at the Oval on June 7th before Ashes Test at Edgbaston and Lords. The Ashes series concludes with tests at Headingley, Old Trafford, and the Oval in July. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliment of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Celebrating style, the Quartz Furniture event. Get up to 30% off on furniture, appliances, and accessories store-wide. Plus, if you pay with Quartz Ready Finance, you pay nothing down and there's no payment for 30 days. This offer is available in store and online at shopquartz.com. Conditions apply. Promotional period April 1st to 30th, 2023. Quartz, bringing value home.
That could have been